What if your mind was not a place of chaotic thoughts, but a silent fortress from which you ruled your life? The world teaches you to be swayed by every emotion and fear, to be a servant to your own inner turmoil. The Stoics knew that with the right mindsets, you could seize the throne of your own mind and achieve a state of unbreakable mental dominance. Master 6 Mindsets. Stoic Power, Mental Dominance, compiled and published by Stoic Ruler. Lesson 1. Embrace your inner stillness. Imagine a deep, ancient forest pool. Its surface a perfect, undisturbed mirror reflecting the sky. No matter how fiercely the wind howls through the trees above or how violently the animals crash through the undergrowth nearby, the water in the pool remains profoundly still, clear, and placid. The wind and the crashing animals are the events of your daily life. The churning mud they could cause is your emotional reaction. The clear water is your reason. This pool is the ideal state of the human mind. The inner conflict we all face is that our minds are not like this still pool. Instead, they are like a shallow, muddy pond in the middle of a busy road, constantly churned into a chaotic frenzy by every passing vehicle of thought, every splash of external opinion, and every gust of anxious emotion. We yearn for peace, yet our minds are the source of our own perpetual storm. The fundamental problem with this lack of inner stillness is that it becomes the foundation for a life of chaos and reaction. A mind that is never quiet is a mind that cannot think clearly. It cannot hear the quiet voice of its own intuition, as it is drowned out by the shouting of 1,000 fears and desires. This constant inner chatter is not just distracting. It is composed of other people's voices, societal programming, and unexamined beliefs you have absorbed over a lifetime. Only in the silence can you begin to distinguish these foreign voices from your own authentic, rational self. Without this stillness, you cannot focus your energy. You are constantly drained by a relentless internal monologue, and you are living out a script written by others. When you live with this inner noise, you are always on edge, easily provoked, and perpetually exhausted. You cannot make wise decisions because wisdom is born in quiet contemplation, not in chaos. The transformative solution is to begin the sacred work of cultivating your own inner stillness. It is the deliberate practice of becoming the deep, clear forest pool, regardless of the chaos in the world around you. The core Stoic idea is that our inner world, our hegemonicon or ruling faculty, is the only thing we have complete control over. The external world will always be chaotic. The goal is not to silence the world, but to cultivate a profound silence within yourself. This inner stillness is not an empty, passive state. It is a state of immense, concentrated power. It is the quiet, calm center from which all wise, effective, and purposeful action originates. For the Prokopton, the Stoic student making progress, cultivating this stillness is the first and most essential step. It is the act of clearing the ground before you can build the fortress of your character. It is the foundation of mental dominance. You can begin to cultivate this inner stillness with a simple yet powerful daily practice. This is the practice of a stillness sit. For just 10 minutes every morning, before the day's noise begins, find a quiet place to sit. Close your eyes. Your task is not to stop thinking or empty your mind. That is impossible. Your task is simply to become the silent observer of your own thoughts. Watch them arise, float by, and dissipate like clouds in the sky. Do not judge them, do not cling to them, and do not fight them. When you realize you have been carried away by a thought, gently and without criticism, return your focus to the simple sensation of your own breath. Each time you do this, you are performing one repetition of a mental push-up. You are strengthening your ability to detach from your thoughts and to rest in the quiet awareness behind them. You are learning to be the sky, not the clouds. The benefits of embracing your inner stillness are the benefits of true peace and power. Your baseline level of stress and anxiety will dramatically decrease. Your ability to focus will sharpen, allowing you to do deep, meaningful work. You will become less reactive and more patient in your interactions. You will build an unshakable inner sanctuary that you can retreat to at any moment. You will begin to hear your own wisdom. You will feel a sense of clarity and ownership over your own mind that is the very definition of freedom. Your practice is to commit to this 10-minute stillness. Sit every single day for 1 week. Treat it as the most important appointment of your day, because it is the appointment where you meet your true self. This inner stillness is the necessary foundation for our next mindset. The ability to overcome fear with calm, clear rationality. If you are ready to find the power in your own inner quiet, please show your support for this work by liking this video. Lesson 2. Overcome fear with rationality. Imagine 2 travelers walking down a path at dusk. Ahead, a long, dark shape lies across the road. The first traveler's heart pounds. A cold sweat breaks out on his brow. His mind fills with vivid, terrifying images of a venomous snake, coiled and ready to strike. He is paralyzed by fear, unable to move forward or back. His journey is over. The second traveler, a Stoic, also sees the shape and feels that same initial jolt of alarm, the physical sensation of fear. But he pauses. He does not allow that first impression to become his reality. Instead, he engages his rational mind. He observes that the shape is not moving. He notes its rough, fibrous texture in the fading light. He deduces that it is not a snake, but a harmless piece of rope someone has dropped. He calmly steps over it and continues his journey. The inner conflict we face is that when we encounter fear, we all too often choose to be the first traveler. We allow our initial fearful impression to hijack our reason and become our master. The problem with this mindset is that a life ruled by unexamined fear is a small, constricted life. Fear is a powerful and useful instinct, but when it is placed in charge of your decisions, it becomes a tyrant. It is a cage you build for yourself, barred by fearful thought. The Stoic philosopher Seneca noted that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Fear is a creative act of a misdirected imagination. We vividly imagine failure, rejection, and disaster. This imagined suffering feels so real that it prevents us from taking action in the real world. The fear of failure keeps you from starting a new venture. The fear of rejection keeps you from seeking a deep connection. The fear of discomfort keeps you from pushing your physical limits. When you let fear be your master, you are choosing to live in a constantly shrinking world, avoiding all potential risks and therefore all potential growth and joy. You are allowing a shadow, a fearful thought, to have more power than your own rational mind. The transformative solution is to become the second traveler. It is the practice of meeting your fear not with more emotion, but with the bright, steady light of rationality. The core Stoic idea is that we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. The snake on the road is not what causes the terror. It is the judgment that the rope is a snake that causes the terror. By learning to pause and examine our fearful thoughts, to cross-examine them as if they were an unreliable witness in court, we can dismantle them with logic and evidence. The goal is not to be fearless. That is impossible for a human being. The goal is to act courageously despite the feeling of fear, because you have determined through reason that your fear is irrational, or that the object of your fear is a challenge worth facing. You can begin to overcome your fear with rationality using a powerful Stoic exercise called fear setting, adapted from Seneca. Take a fear that is currently holding you back. First, you must define the nightmare. What is the absolute worst-case scenario if you do what you're afraid of? Write it down in vivid, terrifying detail. Don't hold back. Second, you must prevent. What actions could you take right now to prevent or decrease the likelihood of that worst-case scenario from happening? Brainstorm a list of at least 10 preventative measures. This shifts your mind from passive worry to active problem solving. Third, you must repair. If the worst-case scenario were to happen, what specific actions could you take to repair the damage or get back on your feet? Who could you ask for help? You will often find that the unbearable consequence is actually quite manageable. The benefits of this practice are profound. You will be liberated from the paralysis of your anxieties. You will develop the courage to take calculated risks and to pursue your most ambitious goals. You will build a deep confidence in your ability to handle adversity because you will have already faced it and planned for it in your mind. You will find that most of your fears are just shadows, like pieces of rope on the road that have no real power over you once you shine the light of reason upon them. You will become the master of your imagination, using it to create solutions instead of phantoms. Your practice is to take one of your fears, no matter how small, and put it through the 3-step fear-setting exercise. Define, prevent, and repair. See how rationality dissolves the phantom. As you learn to overcome fear, you naturally begin to build a quiet, unshakable confidence. In our next lesson, we will explore the Stoic mindset for developing this powerful attribute. Subscribe to Stoic Ruler to continue your journey to a fearless life. Lesson 3. Develop unshakable confidence. Imagine a master architect who is about to construct a great stone bridge. Their confidence does not come from hopeful wishing or from the praise of others. It comes from 3 things: a deep understanding of the timeless principles of engineering, a trust in the quality of their materials, and the undeniable evidence of the smaller, successful bridges they have built in the past. Their confidence is a quiet, earned reality, built on a foundation of competence and proven action. The inner conflict we experience is that we often seek confidence as if it were a mood or a feeling we could conjure up. We look for it in external validation, compliments, promotions, social status, or we try to fake it till we make it, hoping that an outward performance of confidence will somehow create the inner reality. The problem with this approach is that it makes our confidence incredibly fragile and inauthentic. Confidence built on the praise of others is not yours. It is a loan that can be recalled at any moment. This is contingent confidence. The moment the praise stops, the confidence vanishes. Confidence built on a single achievement is also contingent. If you face a setback, your confidence shatters. Faking it, on the other hand, creates a constant inner anxiety, a fear of being exposed as a fraud. This is not a foundation for a strong life. It is building your bridge out of hollow materials, hoping no one ever tries to drive a heavy truck across it. True confidence must be foundational, built on something internal and permanent. The transformative solution is to stop seeking the feeling of confidence and to start building the evidence of confidence. It is the practice of becoming the master architect of your own character. The core Stoic idea is that genuine, unshakable confidence is not based on external outcomes, which are never fully in our control. It is based on a deep, internal trust in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way with virtue and resilience. It is a confidence in your character, not your circumstances. It is also a confidence born of integrity, the knowledge that you are a person who keeps their promises, especially to yourself. Competence tells you that you can do something. Integrity tells you that you will do it. True confidence is a fusion of both. It is earned through the daily, disciplined work of proving your own reliability to yourself. You can begin to build this unshakable confidence with a powerful, systematic approach. The first step is to build your competence. As we have discussed before, choose one skill and commit to the process of deliberate practice with objective self-review. After each practice session, don't just feel good. Analyze what worked and what didn't. This ensures your competence is real. The second, more general practice is the daily promise. Every single morning, make one small, specific, and achievable promise to yourself. It could be, I will not hit the snooze button, or I will take a 5-minute walk at lunch. The promise itself is less important than the act of keeping it. At the end of the day, review your performance. Ask not just, did I keep the promise? But also, what did I learn from the process? What was the point of resistance? How did it feel to overcome it? This turns a simple habit into a profound self-study. The benefits of building confidence this way are the benefits of creating something real and permanent. You will develop a quiet, solid self-assurance that is not dependent on your mood or the opinions of others. You will become more willing to take on new challenges because your self-worth will not be tied to the outcome. You will be liberated from the exhausting and anxious work of faking it. You will develop a deep trust in yourself, the kind of trust that allows you to walk into any situation with a calm and quiet strength, knowing you have the inner resources to handle it. Your practice is to make and keep one small, simple promise to yourself today. Start with a single stone. This confidence gives you the stability to master your emotional responses, which is the next crucial mindset. Let us know in the comments one small promise you will keep to yourself today. Your commitment may inspire others. Lesson 4. Control your emotional responses. Imagine the rudder of a vast, powerful ship. The ocean around it is a chaotic maelstrom of unpredictable forces, winds, currents, and waves. The ship has no control over these external forces, but with small, precise, and controlled movements of the rudder, the captain can steer the entire ship using the power of the very forces that threaten it to guide the vessel to its intended port. Your emotional responses are the rudder of your life. The inner conflict we face is the pervasive and disempowering belief that our emotions are like the weather, something that just happens to us. We feel we are passive victims of our own anger, anxiety, and frustration. We say, "He made me angry," ceding all our power and agency and placing the control for our inner state in the hands of another person. The fundamental problem with this mindset is that if you do not control your emotional responses, you are not in control of your life. Your mind becomes like a ship where mutinous pirates, your passions, have seized the helm from the rightful captain, your reason. You have become a ship without a rudder, adrift on the chaotic ocean of circumstance. Your life's direction is determined not by your own will and reason, but by every random event, every careless word from another person, every minor inconvenience. Anyone who knows how to provoke you becomes your master. A situation that can trigger your anxiety is your master. You are living in a state of profound slavery to things outside of your control, reacting to the world instead of acting within it. The transformative solution is to seize firm control of your rudder. It is the full-hearted embrace of the most empowering principle in all of Stoic philosophy. You have absolute power over your own mind and your response to events. The core wisdom from Epictetus is that it is not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. The external event is the wind. Your internal judgment about the event is the setting of your sail. Your emotional response is how the ship moves. By mastering your judgments, you can learn to harness any wind, even a hurricane, to move you in the direction you choose. This is the essence of emotional control and the heart of personal freedom. The goal is to ensure the captain is always on the bridge, well-rested, and in command, making a mutiny impossible. You can begin to take control of your emotional rudder with the Stoic practice of examining your impressions. When you feel a strong emotion begin to rise, you must train yourself to pause and act as a gatekeeper for your mind. First, you must isolate the impression. Acknowledge the raw fact of what happened. Separate from your story about it. Impression: the stock market went down. Faulty judgment: I'm ruined. This is a catastrophe. Impression: my heart is beating fast. Faulty judgment: I'm having a panic attack and I'm going to die. The second step is to challenge the judgment. Ask your judgment as if it were a person. Are you what you appear to be? Are you the truth or just an exaggerated story? Is there another, more virtuous way to respond to this impression? Wise judgment: the value of my holdings has decreased. This is an external event outside my full control. I will stick to my long-term strategy. This pause interrupts the automatic reaction and engages your rational mind. The benefits of taking control of your emotional responses are the benefits of becoming the captain of your own soul. You will be freed from the exhausting emotional roller coaster of daily life. You will experience a deep and abiding sense of inner peace, knowing that your tranquility comes from within. Your relationships will improve dramatically as you cease to be a source of reactive, chaotic energy. You will make wiser, more rational decisions in every area of your life. You will be able to face adversity with a calm and powerful grace that will command the respect of everyone around you. Your practice is to try to catch one automatic judgment today. When you feel a negative emotion, ask yourself, what is the story I'm telling myself right now? And then question if that story is actually true. This emotional control is a form of resilience, a muscle that must be strengthened through adversity. In our next lesson, we will explore the Stoic mindset of cultivating resilience. Share this video if you are ready to take the helm of your own life. Lesson 5. Cultivate resilience through adversity. Imagine a master swordsmith forging a legendary blade. The process is not gentle. The smith takes the raw steel and subjects it to intense, repeated stress. It is heated in the searing fire until it glows white-hot. Then it is hammered violently on the anvil. Then it is plunged into the cold water, creating an immense shock. A blade that is only heated but never hammered is weak. A blade that is only hammered but never heated is brittle. It is this cycle of stress, heat and hammer, and recovery, the quenching in water, that aligns the internal structure of the metal, burns away its impurities, and transforms it from brittle iron into resilient, unbreakable steel. Your own resilience is this blade. The inner conflict we face is that we see adversity as purely negative. We see stress, hardship, and failure as things that damage us, that weaken us, and that should be avoided at all costs. The problem with this mindset is that it makes us incredibly fragile. If you believe that hardship is purely destructive, you will live in constant fear of it. And when it inevitably arrives, you will interpret the experience as proof of your own weakness or victimhood. This mindset robs you of the most powerful opportunities for growth that life will ever offer you. A life lived in the avoidance of all difficulty is a life that produces a soft, brittle character, a blade that has never been tempered, one that will shatter at the first real impact. Modern psychology has even confirmed the Stoic view with the concept of post-traumatic growth, showing that many people who endure great hardship and actively process it emerge with greater strength, a deeper appreciation for life, and more meaningful relationships. Avoiding difficulty is avoiding growth. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the Stoic swordsmith. It is to learn to see adversity not as a destructive force, but as the very process by which your resilience is forged. The core idea, central to all of Stoicism, is that the obstacle is the way, the fire is the teacher, the hammer is the tool of your own strengthening. A Stoic does not pray for a life without obstacles. They pray for the strength and wisdom to transform every obstacle into a source of inner power. They understand that just as muscles grow stronger by being broken down and repaired, our character and resilience are built in the same way, through the process of facing stress, enduring it with virtue, and then deliberately recovering and reflecting to integrate the lesson. You can begin to cultivate this resilient mindset with a powerful practice known as turning the obstacle upside down. When you are faced with a difficult situation, a setback, a failure, an injustice, your first step is to accept it as it is. Do not waste energy wishing it were different. This is the reality you have been given. Your second step is to ask the transformative question, how can I use this situation to practice a virtue? How can this obstacle become a training ground for my character? A rude colleague is an opportunity to practice patience and forgiveness. A financial loss is an opportunity to practice temperance and simplicity. A health scare is an opportunity to practice courage and gratitude for the present moment. This reframe changes you from a passive victim of the event to an active student of it, an alchemist turning lead into gold. The benefits of cultivating resilience through adversity are the benefits of becoming truly anti-fragile. You will no longer fear failure, as you will see it as a valuable source of data and an opportunity to practice getting back up. You will develop a deep and powerful confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. You will find meaning and purpose even in your most difficult struggles, knowing that they are the very fire that is tempering your soul into unbreakable steel. You will become a source of strength and inspiration for others, a living example of how to face hardship with grace and courage. Your practice for this lesson is to take a current difficulty in your life. Ask yourself the transformative question, what virtue is this obstacle giving me the opportunity to practice? This resilience is not a one-time achievement, but a quality that is built through the final, crucial mindset, mastery through consistency. In our next lesson, we will explore this ultimate discipline. Lesson 6. Achieve mastery through consistency. Imagine a person who wants to become a master of a musical instrument. They could read every book on music theory, watch every performance by the great masters, and feel an intense, passionate motivation to play. But if they do not sit down, day after day, week after week, and engage in the consistent, often repetitive and unglamorous practice of their craft, they will never achieve mastery. The masterpiece is not born from inspiration. It is born from the relentless rhythm of consistency. This is the path to all forms of mastery. The inner conflict we face is that we are a culture in love with the hack, the shortcut, and the overnight success. We desire the outcome of mastery without being willing to embrace the long, patient, and consistent process that is the only way to achieve it. The problem is that this mindset dooms us to remain perpetual amateurs in the most important craft of all, the craft of living a good life. A lack of consistency is the graveyard of all good intentions. We start a diet, a workout plan, a meditation practice with great enthusiasm, but when the initial motivation fades, our practice falters. We never stay with anything long enough to achieve escape velocity, the point where the habit becomes self-sustaining and a true part of our identity. This leads to a life of dabbling, of starting and stopping, and a deep sense of frustration with our own inability to create lasting change. We remain at the surface level of every endeavor, never experiencing the profound satisfaction and power that comes from true mastery. We also fail to appreciate the plateau. In any long-term pursuit, there will be long periods where you feel you are making no progress. This is the test. The amateur quits, demoralized. The master understands the plateau as a period of consolidation, where the skill is moving from the conscious to the unconscious mind, and they continue the practice with trust. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic mindset of consistency as the only path to mastery. It is the understanding that greatness is not the result of a single brilliant act, but the cumulative effect of thousands of small, disciplined, and unspectacular actions. It is the flywheel effect. The first few turns of a heavy flywheel take immense effort, but each turn adds to the momentum. After a while, the flywheel's own weight and momentum make it easier and easier to turn until it becomes a nearly unstoppable force. The core Stoic idea is that we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. The Stoic sage is not someone who had a single flash of insight. The sage is someone who, over a lifetime, consistently chose the path of virtue and reason in small, daily decisions. They understood that the process is the goal. The daily practice is the masterpiece. You can begin to achieve mastery through consistency with a simple but powerful framework. First, you must choose your craft. In this context, it is the 1 or 2 core habits that you know will have the most positive impact on your life. Do not try to master 10 things at once. Choose your most important practice, be it meditation, journaling, or exercise. Second, you must commit to the process, not the results. Divorce your satisfaction from the external outcome. Your goal is not to have a good meditation session. Your goal is simply to show up and sit for 10 minutes. The victory is in the showing up. Third, as discussed earlier, you must embrace a rule like never miss twice. This builds resilience into your consistency, preventing a single failure from derailing you completely. The benefits of achieving mastery through consistency are the benefits of realizing your full potential. You will build skills and character traits that are deep, durable, and real. You will develop a profound sense of self-efficacy and confidence, born from the undeniable evidence of your own discipline. You will experience the deep, abiding joy of the craftsman, the satisfaction that comes from the pursuit of excellence for its own sake. You will transform yourself, slowly but inevitably, from an amateur into a master of your own life. Your practice for this lesson is to choose your one most important habit. Make a simple, solemn vow to yourself that you will show up for that practice every single day for the next 30 days, regardless of the results, regardless of how you feel. Build your flywheel. This journey through the 6 Stoic mindsets, from embracing stillness to achieving mastery through consistency, is a path to complete mental dominance over the only thing that truly matters, yourself. You have explored the 6 essential mindsets for achieving mental dominance. From inner stillness to consistent action, these are the Stoic tools for overcoming fear, mastering emotion, and building a life of unshakable confidence. The power is not in what happens to you, but in the mindset you choose to meet it with. Thank you for your time and your dedication with Stoic Ruler. If this journey has provided you with value, please support our mission by liking this video, commenting with your own insights, and subscribing for more wisdom on the path to an unshakable life.